Hey, what's the thing about gingers? That they have no souls?
Oh, yeah. Man, we're losing all their ginger audience now. Really stop disrespecting.
What else is up with gingers? They have no souls. They can't do what?
I don't know. I just heard the no souls one. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I've never heard
you
these
got
things?
all the tea on gingers? Like, what's going on here?
No.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Scatter Roots podcast.
What World Cup was that?
South Africa, you dumbass.
Yeah, but what year was that?
Oh, it's 10.
Not where? What? No, obviously.
2010, I think.
Okay, dang, that's 11 years ago now.
Because Russia was 18, then...
How old were you 11 years ago?
We
were still in high school.
Yeah, 15.
Damn.
15?
Hey, we were all still in high school.
Can't do math. Yeah, dude. We were definitely in high school. But, man, that takes me back. What a great
We
World
played
Cup.
the opening game.
Yeah.
I said we had
Shabalala. You remember Shabalala?
No, what?
That's who scored on us, you idiot.
I don't remember that at all.
Come on, man. Yeah,
I just remember
remember
I remember the vuvuzelas being a big deal for that World Cup. And then I remember we played the opening game.
Yeah, and the announcer was like, Shabalala, like when he scored on us.
Oh, yeah,
some dude named Shabalala
I remember
scored
now.
an absolute banger on us.
Wait, was 2010 the...
Was it 2010? Am I tripping?
Was that Noeta? No.
No.
That was 2014.
Yeah. And that was in Brazil.
That's
so
right.
Yeah. So it was 2010.
Hey, shout out to the Danish.
You know who beat us in 2010?
We feel your pain.
Yeah.
No era penal.
No era penal. However you say that in Danish,
you have my you have my empathy.
Yeah, fuck England.
Fuck Arjen Robin.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
You don't remember who knocked us out in 2010? Us being Mexico, for those of you who don't know.
We obviously made it out.
You don't remember, really? Man, you didn't have experienced the hurt I did.
Now, who was it?
Argentina.
That's right. No, that's right. No, but we hit Guardado hit a screamer, didn't he? Or did it come off the post?
Chicharito's the one who scored. I'm pretty sure we only scored one goal that game. That's Chicharito, and he scored a screamer.
Okay, maybe it was. I remember like the goal that we scored being.
Well, it was inside the box, but he rocked it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we lost people already.
Hey man, but tough times to think about. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Scatter Roots podcast. My name is Rudy. Kevin, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little tired, bro. I went to sleep very, very late last night. We was playing board games. You a big board game guy?
I love board games.
Yeah, I know. You actually put me on to a few. Hey, if y'all ever want to check out some cool games, Wavelength and Codenames. I actually last night played Codenames for the first time. And I played incorrectly, obviously, because I don't know how to read the rule book.
This fool.
But it was still fun. So shout out to you for putting me on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I love board game night. That's my shit.
And speaking of games, that's kind of going to lead us into what today's episode's about.
Man, those transitions.
You like those? You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I'm going to lob it up for myself.
This man.
But we're going to talk...
doing way to yourself?
You know what I'm saying? Like, off the glass, you know what I'm saying? The Vince Carter. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, we were going to talk about sports a little bit and kind of our experience with some of the sports that had an impact in our life.
Ladies, please don't tune out.
Hey, man, the ladies are walking with the sports. What are you talking about?
Someone to be hating, bro.
Monica's an athlete, full-fledged. You didn't see her on the tennis court the other day?
I was going to say, wait, what sports does she play?
She's also a ex-gamer.
Yeah, ex-games.
Yeah.
That's such a
what's the Twitter? He's in X Games mode.
He's an X Game mode.
Yeah. Hey, y'all go check out Monica. What's your skating page?
Oh no.
It's Rolling with Moni.
Rolling with Moni. Hey, go check it out. Hey, you know what I'm saying? She'll be doing some wild tricks on the page. Go check her out. Show some love.
Yeah, we'll plug it right here, down below.
Hey, just have her skate across the front of us. But what are you talking about, man? The women love some sports. I feel like
I hope so.
It's that they're with the culture as well. But yeah, no, I think we want to talk a little bit about some of the sports that had an impact on our lives, and then just some of the more prominent sports in which the Latin community has either just representation or they have like a long-standing history of contributing to the sport. So I think that's just kind of where we're going to start off. We didn't really have like a Rolodex prepared today. Like we're just going to kind of go with the flow. So what do you want to jump out with, Kevin? What's in your mind when you think of sports, especially in like when it pertains to your identity? What's like the first thing that comes to mind?
Sure. So I mean, sports is a big thing, generally speaking, just because like it's something you latch onto if you're into it, right? Like I'm assuming.
I feel like it's huge. Like I feel like it's so hard, even if you don't play a sport, to not care about it, especially when it comes to what we're gonna spend a lot of time talking about today, and that's like nationally.
I mean, yes, but I think there's plenty of people who like grow up not knowing a thing about sports and not caring about sports, and you can easily go about it. But yeah, in terms of like just general popular culture and the general zeitgeist, whew,
Oh, words.
sports is
Big
a big
ones.
thing, right? And so like as a kid growing up, like for myself, I was into sports. Now that being said, I actually kind of had like an interesting relationship with sports. I didn't play
Yeah,
it
because I thought you were a dweeb.
for sure.
You
Dweeb.
still are.
Yeah, full on dweeb. I did not play sports from a young age. I wanted to be inside playing my Super Nintendo because I had a Super Nintendo.
Hey, me too. Hey, shout out. Hey, you have to.
Yeah, you take the things out and blow all over.
Hey, shout out to all the boys that were blowing into their games. Pause.
Yep. Whoa. So yeah. I definitely wasn't into sports like early on,
Yeah.
right? But when I did get into them, that they really shape you and kind of influence who you are. Not necessarily the sport itself, but just because of the influences that you. Right. Again, it's such a popular thing. Like your circle of friends are into the same sports, or you get into the sports they get into, and like you kind of.
When you're a kid, like especially like because that's kind of where we're starting, right? When you're young, and you get into whatever hobby you get into when you're young, that molds a lot of like
exactly
your like who you are, because you're also spending a lot of time with like other people that are like your close friends, and like they have an impact on you. So I've told this story like when we first had the first episode, right? Like my kind of first interaction with sports where it kind of pushed me in one direction or the other was when I started playing basketball in the 3rd grade with like all of my homies that like I was, for the first time in my life, I had friends in my classes that wanted to play basketball because that's what my parents played, that's what my dad played, that's where I would go see. We would go every Sunday to go hoop. But then during the week I would come in and none of my Mexican friends wanted to play, so I'd be like, that's cool, man, I'm just gonna play soccer, I'm just trying to hang out with my friends, I didn't think too much of it. But then in 3rd grade when I started playing basketball, and then that really had a big impact on like kind of the person that I ended up becoming, because it's exactly that, right? Like you're constantly surrounding yourself with people that have these interests with you. They reinforce those interests, and then depending on whether or not you're good, I think that's probably like the bigger thing. There's a lot of people, I didn't realize there's a lot of people that played sports growing up and they kind of sucked, and they just had to let it go, bro. Could never be me.
It's not for you. Hey, you're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Yeah, dude, that was very much me for quite a time. You know what's interesting too, real quick, before I forget? Like, my dad was actually a big basketball player. Like,
oh, word?
I didn't know that until even like recently. Like,
hey, what's up, bro? Tell him to come hoop.
So he hasn't hooped in ages, but like apparently, like when he was in Mexico growing up, that was his sport of choice. Actually, not even soccer; it was basketball. He grew up hooping around the corner.
And so what got him into coaching? Because that's what happened with you, right? Like that's how you got into like soccer.
Yeah, so that's a long story. But I think like when he ended up moving here, and once he was here, he fell off a little bit on basketball. And I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because like he all of a sudden went from probably being like average size in Mexico to being very diminutive in the States.
Like we're smaller.
Yeah, my dad is not a like above average height. Right? Like he's the same height I am. He's like 5'6".
It's kind of frustrating for me, like because
you're kind of tall, so you can kind of.
Oh yeah, okay. So like I'm taller for
Latino people,
especially for Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
And I think across Latin America, when do you think we start getting taller Latinos?
Wait, say that again?
Because like, in what demographic do you think we start getting taller Latinos?
Dude, I don't know.
Because from like Mexico to Central America, everyone's pretty short.
Yeah. I think Central Americans are even shorter typically.
Exactly.
Like my Central American side of the family is super short.
Is mad short. I think you have to start going into like maybe your more Eurocentric countries like the Argentinas, maybe like Colombians and Brazilians, or maybe Colombians are also short. Gianna's parents are pretty short.
Oh shit!
I don't know. Regardless, let's get back to the point. So I'm a little bit taller, and so when I say that, I'm 6 foot, right? And so.
He's 5'11".
That's cap. I promise you. Hey,
he does the NBA thing.
My driver's license say 6'1". That's my pat, but I'm really 6 foot. Okay, if I'm being honest. But so like in basketball terms, that's not that tall. No. So like my running position playing that sport is like being a point guard. But when I play with like all of my Mexican family, they immediately want to throw me down. And they'll be like, "Yeah, come on, you're the big guy. Go down there." Like,
you're a big guy?
Bro, like no, I am literally.
What's
scrawny.
Your post game like, bro?
Hey, this is kind of nice. I got a little fadeaway, but it's annoying because I'm like, like this does not help me in
my development.
Yeah, exactly. The grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so I don't know where my dad got into soccer. He didn't get soccer until he was here. But that being said, like that's a sport that was introduced to me as a kid. Like it was never. I was never hooping. playing basketball.
Yeah.
It was soccer, and like you said, when you're bad at it and you got to abandon it, like that was me at the beginning. Like,
oh really? Did you give up on it?
Sucked, dude.
Dang.
I sucked so bad.
Because you're pretty nice now. I
think
remember in high school thinking like, oh dang, Kevin's really good.
that came late. I was a late bloomer when it comes to the sport. I don't think I'm like super nice, but I can hold my own. But that being said, like early on, I was trash because I did start playing so late. Because again, I was being a dweeb and wanted to play video games all day long. And I had to give it up. Actually, not because if I remember, I actually had like a hernia when I was young, and I had to give it up because of that. Like, I had surgery. And
wait, so how old were you when you started playing for real?
Like actual.
Yeah, then you started getting better.
14.
Interesting.
I was 4, so we ended up
at
moving.
that point, did you feel like you were like already like mad Mexican? Do you think it reinforced? Like, what was like the dynamic then at that point?
They kind of all came together. I wasn't mad Mexican before then, because at this point, so like I was actually gonna say that real quick. When I moved to Mesquite, it's again predominantly like white neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple like black people and stuff, but very few Latinos that I was friends with.
Yeah.
So I actually did grow up playing basketball and football for like a little while. Like my next door neighbor, we'd go outside and I'd hoop.
Hey, football, my parents would never. We'll come back to that later. Sorry.
So yeah, I'd go over to my next door neighbor, this dude named Alaric, and we just hoop with a couple people from the neighborhood. We play like 21 tipping. What was it? That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
21 I love that game. I hate getting to like 20 and then you get tipped in and you're like, fuck.
Literally children play tipping. Never. As an adult, never.
Why you get tipped in there?
Nah,
constantly?
bro. It's just like you play for hours, bro. Like ain't no one trying to be here for 3 hours.
That's what I'm saying. You
Let's
get
keep it
tipped in,
pushing.
like, all
Yeah,
the time.
exactly.
Yeah, man. We used to play 21 tipping, play football, like just tackle football, like in the park. Yeah. And so that's actually, and again, that's what I mean with like your circle of friends highly influenced, right? Like
absolutely
similar to your circumstance. I mean, you wanted to play basketball, but like you had those friends that played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
My friends also played basketball and football, and so I was kind of playing basketball and football. I wasn't good,
but you're just there, like and so that's the thing is like you're a product of your environment, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you are in an environment where like you're playing XYZ, then you're gonna gravitate towards things that are a part of that culture, right? Because I think that's kind of what happens when people think of us like just as a whole, right? Everywhere I go, when I say like, oh yeah, like I'm really into sports, like basketball is the last thing that is assumed that I play. Like it was funny. I was actually messaging someone, and I rolled my ankle earlier this week playing basketball, and I posted about it on my Instagram, and someone was like, oh dang, what happened? And I was like, oh, I rolled my ankle playing basketball, and she was like, oh, that's why Mexicans don't play basketball. And I was like, wait, pause. I'm here to break stereotypes, bro. I'm here to be the difference. But that's always happened, right? Wow. Like it's not automatically assumed. But what is assumed is that I play like soccer, maybe baseball. And baseball's actually like I think bigger in like when it comes to like especially the like Latin America demographic in general. I think baseball maybe is a more influential sport than soccer. I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Because like, name me the good like.
Like where have we had? Well, I guess because I'm taking into consideration more Central America.
No, they're the Caribbean, bro. The Caribbean's really good at baseball, and I'm sure a couple others. But if you talk about the powerhouse, you got Puerto Rico and the República Dominicana.
Yeah, they like
Cuba, like those.
Yeah, I think at some point I was reading statistics that like in the minor leagues, this was like maybe like in 2003, there was maybe like 40% of like the minor leagues was made up of I mean, Latino players.
If you're talking here, then okay, then yeah, I could see like you're talking like Latinos in American sports, or because like
I think just in general, like their overall like dominance. Because that was my thing is like I think
soccer's definitely the dominating.
Yeah,
sports
you're probably right. I think especially when you take into consider South America, when you have Brazil and Argentina,
exactly. That's what I was going at.
They're gonna, and then Colombia and Chile. Yeah, never mind. You're probably right.
Yep.
But I think here in the United States, that's probably the accurate statement is Latino success in American sports.
I think so. Just because, like, I mean, there's a million baseball, and then the farm systems are so huge. Like, there's just so much talent that comes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so and that's what I was reading. There was a stat that was like 40% of the foreign-born players were either were Latinos, and out of those 40%, 87% of them were either from Puerto Rico or the DR. Mm. So it was like 1/3 of minor league players were Puerto Rican or Dominican.
Yeah, I think when it comes to American sports, I think it's definitely fair to say that baseball is a sport where Latinos have succeeded the most in.
Why do you think baseball made its way all the way to the Caribbean and kind of had such a huge impact?
The colonizers.
You think so?
Or like the new age colonizers.
So why didn't like other American sports take like grab
Well, name the American sports.
football
Okay.
and basketball?
Okay. So wait, yeah. Okay, sure. Basketball is interesting. I don't know why basketball.
Basketball's an American sport, right? Like it was invented here in the States.
I don't know. They play that at Mad.
Right? They had the milk cartons. I remember that being a story.
Did you watch the Peanuts? Is that what you got that
No,
from?
they had like milk cartons that they put up like on a pole, and then that was the first basketball goal.
Shit, I don't know, dude.
I'm pretty sure.
It's my
Hey, and
basketball-
by the way, soccer was not invented in England, so it's not coming home.
Don't get me started. Fuck.
Has it ever been home?
Yeah, has it ever been home? No, so well, I think baseball is pretty simple, just because I think it's like an easy game to set up. All you need is a bat and a ball, and like you can just run in a diamond.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about
Football's a lot
before.
tougher, I think. Like at some level, if you're gonna play it organized, you at least like need pads and.
It has
shit.
more overhead, is what you called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's more of an investment that has to be made into like the equipment, like the facilities, like the field. Baseball, like you can just drag your foot and like make lines and like
Yeah.
put rocks
Yeah.
for your first, second,
And I
and
think
third
that's also
base.
why soccer is so popular, because you just literally just set up 2 rocks as goals and
Basketball, I guess you don't really need you just need the court, which is the same thing for soccer, right? You need the field. I guess you can have a random field and you can set up backpacks.
Yeah. I don't know what basketball
Is that what y'all would do growing up? Would y'all set up the backpacks in like a field and like that would be your?
Yes. Yeah.
I remember. I used to want to really be good at soccer. I used to be like, dang it, I wish I could be good at soccer, and I hated sucking at it. I hated not being good at sports because I thought I was pretty nice at most of them.
Yeah. That was me too.
Bro, we're here
I'm just
chewing
kidding.
on ice.
I'm sorry.
Bro, chewing on ice is, hey, if y'all out here chewing on ice, stop that shit.
Why?
It's bad for your teeth.
Dude, it was like, whatever.
Fellow advice to everyone that listens to the Scatterers podcast, it's terrible for your teeth.
This is a completely unnecessary.
Sorry, I just saw you chewing ice.
What the heck was I saying? You made me lose my train of thought.
We were talking about how baseball was cheaper to play.
Sure, so I don't know.
Soccer.
But yeah. So I think that's like the main dominating factor as to why those 2 sports particularly are as popular as they are in Latin America. Along with boxing, I think boxing is probably
Boxing is huge. I think in the same areas that we were discussing, like there has to be an American influence.
Well, with
That
boxing?
yeah, well,
I don't. Is
Like-
boxing American? I think whooping each other's ass is just universal. I think getting into
people been whooping ass
Okay,
like
yeah,
from the
like,
jump.
yeah,
No, absolutely, it's
some
probably the oldest.
fisticuffs is
Oh, what's the oldest sport ever recorded in human history?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably like
Ooh.
wrestling or some shit.
Someone go tell us.
Probably some Greek shit.
I'm gonna look it up if I can while we're doing this.
Look up some Olympic stuff.
But I'd imagine.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna get into it. I was about to get my mythology Olympic bag, but no one gives a fuck
What
about
the
that.
fuck? Now, what was the comment you were gonna say?
It's where the Olympics came from. It's from like one of Hercules' trials. He like wrestled down some boar or something, and then like.
Is this true?
Yeah, mythology wise, yeah. I don't know how true is mythology.
I don't know. Like, is mythology a pseudoscience? Like, is it just
Dude, I
like
don't
a
know.
made up like fantasy world?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. Obviously, Hercules isn't real.
Hey, you don't know that?
People weren't being born. Zeus isn't real.
I don't know, man. The Greeks acted like he was real.
Yeah, you're right. What
What's
a
to say?
weird. Humans are weird.
But anyways, so I'd put my money on like wrestling or something as being like the oldest sport.
Maybe something like that. Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. But no, what I'm saying is like as far as boxing goes, right? When you look at like the
Again, very cheap sport.
the great yeah,
The cheapest of sports.
All you need
These are 2 dick
is
beaters
2
right here.
beats. Your hands, bro.
Put
That's
'em
all
up.
you need, bro.
Let's dance.
Just square somebody out, put them in a room. That's
Yep.
all you need. But like, okay, Mexicans are huge.
In boxing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like absolutely huge. Like I don't think they're maybe like besides Americans, like when you have like the list of like the best like boxers of all time, and then like you break them down by like nationality.
Yeah, the English try to come up here, but nah, you ain't rocking with that.
Nah, bro. I think it's the United States 1 and then Mexico 2. I don't think
Depends on the weight class.
Yeah, for sure.
'Cause I'm
and it
still-
depends on the era. But like when you think of like heavyweights, like Muhammad Ali, like Mike Tyson.
We don't make it to that heavy. To that weight
Yeah, we're
class,
not
bro.
big.
No.
It goes back to not being big.
Yeah.
Dang, except for Johnny. Johnny, where you at, bro? Johnny's out here 6'5". Like, how tall are you, Johnny? 6'4".
God damn. son.
Damn, bro. That's all I want for my kids. I remember being like 14 and being like, "Ah, I want to be 6'7", 6'7".
Yeah.
6'7".
That didn't work out.
Here I am, 5'10". But I made it to 6 foot.
But
Shout out.
yeah, I think you're right. I think Mexico. There's also again, it's very big in like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's very.
And that's what
dominant in
I was gonna
boxing
say.
and a
Like
couple other-
Puerto Rico has a couple people. The DR has a few people. The Philippines is, but that's
they got Pacquiao.
That's an interesting place that I think we maybe need to jump into the bag one day and kind of see the influence, because I feel like Filipinos and Latinos have some like,
Well, they have a common oppressor.
yeah, is that kind of where that comes from?
For sure, 100%.
Because we have some parallels in the culture,
Yeah.
and
They got Spanish ass last names sometimes.
They do. Sometimes it's kind of confusing,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes I'd be like, man, my nephews look like Filipino. Hold on now, pause.
What? And they eat some similar foods like longaniza is big over there.
Oh, what is that?
Longaniza?
I don't know.
It's kind of like chorizo. It's basically like chorizo.
I love chorizo.
I know you do.
LOL. But yeah, no, boxing is huge. And like, was boxing big in your family?
A bit defined because I think boxing is like, it's not a sport that anybody in my family like participated in or whatever.
But like, would y'all get to, obviously? Yeah, I mean, I feel like you don't.
It's one of those sports where I think there's like very few people actually like
participate.
Yeah,
well,
like,
one, it's a single like person sport.
Yeah.
It's not like a team sport, so where there's multiple people.
But 100%, like when a boxing fight was on with a Mexican boxer in it, like man, who was the one? What's his name? Juan Manuel Marquez. He was huge. His fights with Pacquiao were huge, and a couple others. And my dad loved boxing. Like I think.
Yeah, that whole series of how many times did they fight? Was it 4 times?
I think it was 4.
4 times. Yeah, I remember that was huge. And I'm not gonna lie, at that point, actually, that's a great way for me to reference like my attachment to like the to like my nationality, because I remember like I really liked Pacquiao.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked Pacquiao growing up. Like whenever, because at that point, it was like maybe like
some of those fights were robbed.
It started in middle school, and like those fights ended like probably like by the time we were in high school.
No, the last fight was when we were in college. I remember.
Oh, was
distinctly.
It?
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a span of a long time.
It was my freshman year in college.
And I remember like a part of me always rooted for like Pacquiao a little bit, and it's just because I liked him, and I didn't associate a strong sense of attachment to Marquez as a Mexican yet. But I think it's because I didn't have a strong sense of attachment to being Mexican yet, with the exception of soccer. Like that was the only sport that I 100% absolutely associated with, like, this is the country that I cheer for at all times. But yeah, I remember like being like Marquez, like, oh yeah, you know, he's Mexican. If he won, I remember like, all right, cool, like the Mexican won. But like I know that in the back of me, I kind of want a Pacquiao to win. No. I also want a Pacquiao to win because I want him to whoop Floyd's ass.
Oh, fuck Floyd. That's what I was gonna say. Like we talk about like the grades, bro. I would still have Julio Cesar Chavez over Floyd Mayweather any day. Like, I don't fuck with
Julio Cesar Chavez was like I wish I would have been able to like experience some of like the craze of his time.
Yeah.
Like his impact. I feel like people
goat.
Really associated like a lot of like pride with, and I think it's because he carried himself with like that Mexican pride the same way that like Canelo does now.
That's the thing with boxing particularly. There's like there's a very distinct like Mexican style, and like in the boxing community they like address it. Like Mexicans have a certain style to box, and it's siempre pa enfrente, nunca pa atrás, like guerreros in every sense of the word. Like they'll, if you watch those old fights, even Juan,
they go out and like look for the fight.
Yeah, even Juan Manuel Marquez, like they're out there and they're swinging, and they keep going forward. They might be bloodied and receiving licks left and right, but they're still swinging. Whereas like you look at like Mayweather, like that's why I don't fuck with it. Because yeah, you could say, oh, super blah blah blah, this that and the other.
Hey bro, but that shit is pretty though. When you watch him fight, like the way he like bobs and weaves, it's not and boxing moves, to me.
That's like not the essence of boxing.
It's an art though. It's an art, and I just appreciated the like. I don't know, that shit was
I'm sure
beautiful.
It's difficult and I'm sure it's tough, but like that's not, subjectively speaking, like the type of boxing I want to see is like I want you to go out there and like swing at people. I think
that's what everyone wants to see, right? Everyone wants to see somebody whoop somebody's ass. Like, yeah, everyone wants to see like the knockout, you, like
touch,
bob and weave, and
just like barely touch.
But that would be the beauty of like watching Floyd. He'd be in that whole.
I don't care.
Like I mean I'm not a Floyd fan by any like stretch of the imagination, but hey, he was nice. He was nice.
Whatever. Anyways, moving on from boxing, I think, but I think that's all about. Well,
I want to talk a little bit more about Canelo. Like, I think, like right. The same way that like there's a really like a huge sense of pride with Julio Cesar Chavez.
Canelo's interesting because he divides opinions.
Really,
he divides opinions huge.
What opinions? I guess I haven't. Like,
and my dad's one into it, but there's a lot of others as well.
Oh, really? Does your dad not fuck with him?
Because of his style. Again, relating to his style, Canelo is a little bit more in the vein of like Mayweather, where he's very counterattack, very bob and weave, whatever. And I recognize too, I don't really like watching Canelo fight, but at that point, I'm just like, I'm rooting for the Mexican.
I do, bro. Like that shit. Like I feel like he's.
Don't get me wrong, I do, but I want to see him knock people out.
I think he's the perfect balance of like moving forward and also being able to like.
Another thing they say
manipulate
is that
the
he ducks
boxer.
fighters, but that's a whole. I don't know enough about boxing. I don't know enough about boxing to know, dude. But
Cap, he's trying to fight
I'm
5 times this year.
that he's got he divides a lot of opinions.
I was thinking because he was so white.
Nah.
And he's a ginger.
Nah. People just don't respect his style.
Hey, what's the thing about gingers? That they have no souls?
Oh, yeah. Man, we're losing all their ginger audience now. Really stop disrespecting.
What else is up with gingers? They have no souls. They can't do what?
I don't know. I just heard the no souls one. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I've never heard
you
these
got
things?
all the tea on gingers? Like, what's going on here?
No. I just remember that being a thing.
Jesus Christ.
That I remember.
Alone, man. I don't know.
And Canelo's a ginger.
Yeah.
But literally so Mexican.
No, yeah, huevo.
And yeah, like I'd be like, oh my god, this white man here is like more Mexican than I could ever dream of being.
Like I said, I love Canelo. I love what he's doing for like Mexico, putting like poniendo el nombre de México en alto. You know what I'm saying? Like at all time. So that's super. And probably the best paid boxer amongst. Does Mayweather make more money? I don't know. This man.
Mayweather's made the most money out of anyone.
Okay, well this man's
boxing.
like second.
Probably. Yeah, it's crazy how much money boxers make. I'm gonna put my kid in boxing.
Yeah.
A little brain damage didn't hurt nobody.
Va a salir todo pendejo afterwards.
No, he's already my kid. Ya va a estar pendejo. Hey, maybe that'll help him.
Yeah, knock something back in place.
You probably gotta be a little pendejo to be a boxer,
yeah, maybe.
right?
I don't know, dude. That's tough.
Like, yeah, bro, that's a career that's like tough to.
Boxing's clean though. I want to get into boxing just like as a workout, but.
Yeah, just working out is cool, but like actually like doing that shit, like can you imagine getting your shit rocked, bro, by like somebody? I would cry.
Yeah, you'd cry.
I'm done. It'd be like the most, it'd be like the worst pay-per-view of all time. Rudy gets knocked out, 10 seconds, cries.
Oh no, you're gonna be one of those YouTube boxers?
Oh, bro,
we could be. Now
I literally hate YouTube
our
boxers.
show's on YouTube, so eventually, maybe,
Hey, I would literally hate YouTube boxers until maybe one day I get the opportunity.
Would you fight like another big podcaster if it meant like boosting our numbers?
Definitely. I would literally, I don't
know.
know.
Joe Rogan? Calling you out.
No, bro, fucking, can you imagine?
Yo, how long do you think you last in the ring with Joe Rogan?
With Joe Rogan, I don't know. He's fucking pretty strong.
He's dumb, stupid strong, bro.
Yeah, I know. And
that's what I'm saying. How long do you think you last?
And he's been in that world for a long time, so he has, I'm assuming, some kind of semblance of...
We're thinking 10 seconds? 20 seconds?
Nah, I can last longer than that.
What? Dude, he catches you one time and you're out.
Yeah, I know. I think I can run around the ring.
You literally turn your back and run.
Literally. Hey, I'm acting like it's WWE. I'm like jumping off the ropes. Like dicking.
You hit him with the book?
Yeah, bro, I'm hitting the 619 through the ropes.
Oh shit. Boy, Joe Rogan would knock your ass out.
Yeah, no, he would definitely whoop my ass. But I've actually boxed in like there was this game that we used to play in Denton called Mafia. It's super like expansive and I don't want to get into the details of it, but basically there was one night where like the guys would go and like box. Like there was like different teams and each team chose like 5 people to go in to like box and like you just box the other teams. And I remember it was like 3 30-second rounds. Bro, I was exhausted. Literally round 2, the guy gave up after the second round. I was like, thank God, because I was finna go out there and just let myself get rocked because I was
Y'all boxing for real?
Mm-hmm. Like we had on gloves. Yeah, we had on gloves.
No headgear.
We had a ref, no headgear.
Damn, that's
and
crazy.
We were just maybe it was like
that UNT had an underground fight club.
3.5 rounds.
That's crazy.
And I was like, bro, how are these dudes going for 12 rounds for?
That's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's like it
changes. I think too.
It depends on the
contract or rules.
But I was like, yeah, this is exhausting. So, hey, mate, at the end of the day, shout out to Canelo. Like, he divides people. I can see that. Hey, did you see the flag that he got for his tattoo that's in English? He has like a back tattoo that's like a bunch of words. I don't know what it actually says, but it's in English. And it's just funny because this motherfucker can barely even speak or read or write.
He's out here speaking English now, bro.
Bro, barely.
Who is it? Charlotte? No, it wasn't Charlotte. I don't know what that dude is, but he's like, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. The one in Dallas. The last fight that he just had, he was like, get him, motherfucker.
Yeah. I love
but that's the whole point. He'll try to like do an interview in English, and then halfway through,
he's getting better.
He'll be like, no más en español.
Yeah, he's getting better. I look now. Shout out to Andy Ruiz as well. Hope he's the heavyweight dude, the one that beat Anthony Joshua.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there was homeboy that fought
Ryan Garcia, the little kid.
What's your opinion on Ryan Garcia?
I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about him. He doesn't speak Spanish, right? Which again, like we've had an episode before about like not judging someone for not being able to speak the language. But
he claims Mexico. He seems to be like pretty. As long as like you kind of like.
I don't know if
to you.
I don't know if I want him to.
But I don't know if he's good. If he comes out being nice, like he's like I don't know.
I think when it's all said and done, right? Like if he ends up being nice, like they're gonna embrace him. Like right, like, at the end of the day, winning kind of solves most of the problems.
How with Canelo?
I mean, he's won almost everything.
I'm telling you, a lot of people don't like him. That's all I'm saying.
Really, I'd love to have a conversation with him.
I'm telling you.
Cause like they just don't like his style, but at the end of the day, like you still gonna ride with him, right? At the end of the day, no.
I don't know. Dude.
He fights an American.
They feel like he hasn't proven himself.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you bro. How many times I gotta tell you? I watch a lot of ESPN from Mexico.
ESPN right? Deportes? Do you watch the ESPN Deportes?
Yes, David Faitelson hates that man.
Bro, whack.
And hella people hate him.
But yeah, with Ryan Garcia, I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of an annoying, and maybe it's because he's young, right? He's kind of like an annoying figure
he's like,
in my eyes.
Well, we'll see.
But I want him to fight Tank. Gervonta Davis. Yeah. I feel like he's Ryan Garcia is dodging boxers or whatever you said earlier. About
he had a fight and then he said he had like some mental health issues that he was going through. He had like depression and anxiety, which if he was, I'm sure, good for him for taking care of himself.
Good for him to take the time to like kind of figure those things out.
But that's just needless to say, it's too soon. He's only had like one or two fights that are actually like legit.
But he's like he walks around like hot shit. That's the part that like I need him to like chill out onto. Like I guess I'm just a fan of like the humble fighter. The humble athlete.
Yeah, he already called himself something crazy, like King Rye. Yeah, King Rye.
King Ryan or some shit like that. Yeah.
Himself King. He's over here, LeBron James.
Hey, if he's gonna rep the Mexican flag, that's cool with me. Just come out here and prove it, bro.
Yeah.
Come out here and do the thing.
That's all I'm saying.
But okay, no, let's jump back to one of the sports we were talking about before.
That was a boxing heavy podcast.
Yeah, I know. And that's not even like our main bread and butter. It's not, bro. So I think for each of us, we've established what it was, right? Like for myself, it was basketball, and there's not a lot of influence that like. In the Latin American space, at least at a professional level, like really exist. We talked about it before. In Dallas, we had Eduardo Nájera, which was I think still the only like Mexican.
Mexican-born player?
Yeah, Mexican-born basketball. Maybe was he born in Mexico?
Yeah, I don't know, Chief.
I can look it up real quick.
You know those days I was telling you about when I was playing basketball?
Mm-hmm.
I actually got a Nájera jersey too.
Oh, did you really?
My dad caught one. I remember it was hanging from my room. And I remember because I was like, why is there a Dallas Mavericks? Because I was never a Dallas Mavericks fan. I'm like, why is this jersey in my room right now, bro? I'm from LA, bro.
Whack, barely, bro. Yeah, that's why I got this Dodgers jersey on. We'll jump into that later. Yeah, maybe he was. Okay, yeah, no, he was. He was born in Mexico. So yeah, I think Eduardo Nájera is still the only Mexican-born professional basketball player. We have the guy that we talked about before on the podcast. He plays for the Warriors, Toscano, but he was born in the States. He just has Mexican roots. But he also represents for the people. So I think that's what you really want to see, right? And he probably has more similarities to like his story, like with you and I, than someone like Eduardo Nájera does, right? Because he has like this dual identity. But besides that, man, you don't really have anyone to look up to. And I remember that being like a thing, like that was like kind of told of me when I was young. I remember being in 5th grade. And there was this teacher or like this guest speaker that came to like my 5th grade classroom, was like asking everybody like, oh, like what do you want to be when you grow up? Blah, blah, blah. And like, Rudy still having like hoop dreams. Just like, oh, I want to be in the NBA. And he immediately shut my shit down. He was like, do you know how many Mexican basketball players there are in the NBA?
Man fucked up, bro.
Yeah, bro, this grown ass man to sit here and look a 5th grader in the eye and be like, do you know how many Mexican basketball players there are? And then I was like, I mean, I know it's Eduardo Nájera. And then he was like, that's it, exactly. He was like, you have a better chance of going out and playing football, buddy. And I was like, what kind of fucking guest speaker did you guys bring? Hey, fuck this guy. I don't like him.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Dang, crushed it on Rudy. So
bro, I remember I probably went home and like got in the lab so hard. Like I was, like if I had
free throws did you shoot that day?
Bro, 1,000 probably, bro. I was in that hole.
You were like Michael Jordan at the beginning of Space Jam?
Yeah, bro. Like I was
just shooting all night.
Bro, I was in my Mamba mentality, bro. I was like, I'm finna show this white man wrong.
I fucking love Kobe.
Now he was definitely right, but
nowhere near the NBA.
But how dare you plant that idea in his head? To be fair, he also was like, you should also try to be something else, like a doctor, lawyer, or something, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, bro, whatever.
All right.
I'm a child.
Yeah, man. Let me dream.
Let me dream. I was the starting shooting guard of my elementary school, bro. I was doing okay for myself at the time.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
But as far as like influence outside of here in the U.S., there's not really like a big footprint for basketball like through Latin America. I know Luis Scola is Argentinian, Manu Ginobili is Argentinian. So there's some, but I think there's still a little bit more Eurocentric countries. But like when you get to like Brazil, Colombia, Honduras, like
I have to defer to you. I don't know.
There's not much there, but there's actually some really interesting Vice documentaries about the basketball leagues in like Mexico. Like they have like what they call like mercenaries, people that kind of go from like these street tournaments to like win like these $200, $400, $600 like prizes. I'd check it out. If you go to Vice and you look up like basketball in Mexico, like I'm sure it'll come up. And they follow like a series of both people that are from Mexico and people that are from the States that travel to Mexico to play in these tournaments, to like win money and then come back home.
Interesting.
Like these, because they couldn't make it to Europe, right? So they come in and they hoop in
Mexico
in these street leagues. Yeah, it's actually super, super interesting if you go check it out, because you get to learn a lot about kind of the dynamic. And you'll see that there's still people that like, there's pueblos that like that's kind of what they do, because that's kind of what I've told you before, like with my parents, like everyone kind of in that little pueblo plays basketball.
Interesting.
Which is why it kind of got attached to me when I was growing up.
That's super interesting to like see, because I know like Mexico does have a professional basketball league, it's just not very good.
Yeah, do they actually have like
They
a
do.
professional
They actually,
one?
yeah.
See, I've only seen
For
like
sure.
the street leagues, because like where I'm from,
They also have a football league.
I swear.
I swear.
Oh, I think but that's like an indoor arena, right? It's not like an actual.
I don't think so. No, it's
No?
No, it's legit football.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, I had no
They're
idea.
just not very good.
But like I know like it's big, because like in I'll go back to like saying like where my parents are from. Every summer there's like this huge tournament, and it's huge. Like it's like the biggest event of the summer, like where we're from. Like everyone and their mama goes there, bro. Like when you go, there's like thousands of people at like some of these games, because like they play games from like dusk till dawn. And then like for the championship games, like bro, like the whole like
How many fights break out?
actually I don't even know. I don't know if like like how it goes. I've never been able to see, because it's months long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's
Oh,
a full
shit.
it's a full
That's
tournament.
crazy.
Because I remember my dad before was like, hey, like we got to get you ready to go like play.
Oh,
And
you're
just-
trying to breed you to.
Yeah, to go, and I was like, Dad, I don't want to go for like 3 months to
trying to
like
train you.
Yeah, bro. I was like, what? Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so-
Now that I think about it, I'm just like, hey, I really want to go. I want to go show out. Go show my Mexican
the
kids
nicest
who the
one out
hooper
there?
is. Yeah, exactly. The style is completely different though. Like no, like the way that they play. Everyone runs around, passes the ball really fast because they're all short, and they literally hit all the little mid-range jumpers. It's kind of annoying. but it's sorry, that's getting too much into the detail of it. Soccer has a much bigger imprint.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if like you can kind of speak to like what like growing up with that
Yeah.
seeing so much more representation, I guess like people almost like assuming the sport with who you were, kind of what that was like.
Yeah. I for sure. I mean, soccer's something I always latched onto. Again, I didn't really play it for a while, but even without playing it, again, I was someone that was like always like I wanted to be as Mexican as possible. So naturally, I was like, well, I gotta love soccer because that's what all the Mexicans love. And I did, and I remember like even my favorite soccer team, right? Chivas. You don't have any idea why I picked them?
Gross.
Yeah, but
No, go ahead.
who the fuck do you go for?
Sorry, I
You
actually
have
don't
a
go for
team.
anybody. I actually
Shut
make
the
so
fuck
much
up.
fun of like the guy Mekis. Johnny, do you watch
It's definitely boring now, and I don't watch it very much now. But growing up, that's what I watched. I didn't have fucking cable to watch the English Premier League.
if someone? Yeah, me neither. I just got into the Premier League later. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
So my favorite soccer team is Chivas, and the reason why is because they're the only team in Mexico that plays with 100% Mexican players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's always been their thing. Their tradition.
I did not know that.
How do you not know that, bro?
Shit, I don't know. Hey, Liga MX does not get a lot of my attention.
You really
I'm not-
don't follow soccer at all.
I don't so that's one thing, and I need to do better about that, because for a long time I was like, man, like Liga MX, like
It's boring. No, it's definitely boring. But I'm saying like,
it's not entertaining.
it's not. It's at least back then it was a little bit like whatever. But my point is that's always like that's how Mexican I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have my family isn't really from Guadalajara. My family's from Aguascalientes. We have our own professional team there, Necaxa.
Oh, okay.
I could have rooted for them, but it
Are
was
they
like
any good?
Necaxa. They used to be. Now they're not. Well, they're up and down.
Hey, shout out to Cruz Azul.
They were in
finally.
second division. I know, right? Breaking the curse.
Yeah, finally breaking the curse.
Not like Cruz Azulano this time.
Bro, some of them like
Yeah, it's
tough.
really bad. But so like that's what I'm saying. Soccer was that for me. Like it was very much a big, huge,
It attached
huge part
to
of
your
my identity.
identity.
Yeah. And I attached it with Mexico, and so like Chivas is the team I rooted for. Obviously, anytime Mexico played, I rooted hardcore. Like I was, like that's just like everything. Like you feel like the feeling when you watch Mexico play is a lot different than when like watching like even Chivas play. Like for example, I remember the 2006 World Cup. Like even back then, like we got eliminated. Yeah, that was tough. But we got eliminated.
We've always been eliminated.
That one was really tough. That was Argentina. You remember that one?
That was the one that where Guardado hit the.
No.
Bro, Guardado hit a screamer in one of these games.
Bro. Fucking
I'm about to look it up. All right, go ahead. Tell the story.
You remember who knocked us out in 2006? Yeah, you definitely don't remember.
Was it the U.S.?
It was that was 2000. No.
That was 2002.
I don't know. I can't remember. They did knock us out in 2002.
That's when they went to the semifinals.
We don't speak. That's another thing I was going to say, but I'll talk.
Hey, I want to talk about that. Yeah,
I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
No, 2006 was Argentina again. It was an extra time, and it was Maxi Rodriguez hit a screamer on us. That's true. But like, even just watching and listening to the national anthem before the game, like I get goosebumps and like it's just like everything in me. Like I get this weird sensation, like this super nationalistic pride thing going, you know what I mean? And it's just like, God, I fucking love Mexico so much. You know what I mean?
Bro, like the fuel that like you get from like watching the Mexican national team, bro. Like literally gets me into like
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
peak Mexican. Yeah. Like I'm halfway a frijol at that point. Like literally like I start like
there you go again. You need to stop using this word. I told you last week or whatever.
Hey, I can say that, okay? Am I not allowed to say that?
Yeah, frijolero. Frijolero. No, for sure. That's what I'm saying. So like, it's just like the fandom that there is there and the passion that you get when you watch these. When we watch Mexico play is just unmatched, man. Like I could talk about that for days. But other than that, like relating it back to like my own personal life, I think, and like I said earlier, when I finally started playing around the age of 14. That's also like whenever I think I became more Mexican and like the way I acted and the way I behaved and like the way I spoke specifically. Because I think before like I was like 14-ish, again, most of my peers were white, right? So I always spoke Spanish because of the house, because I spoke Spanish at home. But it was very kind of like, it was very much, what's the word? Spanglish, like and more English and Spanish.
Yeah.
But when I started playing soccer, I moved into this neighborhood where like there was a bunch of other Mexican kids. And we would literally go out every day and play on the court, right? Like every single day and play pickup soccer. And so they became like my best friends. And like, that's just kind of like, they were Mexican as fuck because they were.
Did you have any other kind of people besides like Mexicans out there?
No.
It was just y'all?
Yeah, it was just them.
Dang.
And so.
Mean girls.
I mean, there was no one else. That was the neighborhood. That was.
Y'all didn't have like Salvadorians, Hondureños, nobody else?
Not in that circle.
Not until you got into the indoor.
Yeah. But and most of them were like actual like they were born in Mexico. And
really?
And they spoke limited English.
Oh, you mentioned this before. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
now.
like my friend Tigrillo was one of them who came a little bit later on, the one that we interviewed. But yeah, so like it was mainly Spanish that we spoke out there, and so that really brought out like the Mexican in me. I'm like, pasa la way.
And that's beauty. Like I feel like there's a lot of beauty in kind of that. Like, and that's one thing that I think I would want to like. If the day comes where like I have kids, right, like put them in a position where like they get to be in those circumstances, right, where like not only are you playing a sport but you're also immersed in a culture at the same time. My nephew plays indoor soccer right now. Both of them did, although one of them's playing basketball right now as well. But I love it because like but literally like most of the little kids he plays with are like a bunch of other Mexican kids, and they're kind of growing up in a predominantly like white neighborhood, and so like a lot of like the friends that they have in school are like white. So like besides like being with our family, there's not a lot of exposure to like our culture. So going and playing soccer, I think is something that like I really appreciate that they get to go do because it's good for them to be immersed in a sport that represents them a little bit.
For sure. It definitely helped me a lot get closer to like a part of my culture and a part of my roots, right? That I didn't have before then, again, because I was in Mesquite, a predominant white neighborhood. So it definitely helped in that sense. And it shaped, like it played a huge part in shaping who I am today.
Do you think like we associate that like more so than anybody else because we're Mexican? Like, do you think like other, especially in Texas, right? Like, do you think people in California, Florida, and New York like feel the same kind of way? Like the Latinos in those places? That like soccer really represents like, or it's like a big part of their culture?
I think it more so depends on what land country you're talking about, but I do think Mexicans like around, like look at Mexico, like when they go play anywhere, they fill the stadium. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I know they play in these these states as well. Because like my brother, he was a lot better than I am. And he traveled to these states and played, and there's kids out there playing, and like it's just everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere you're right. Anywhere Mexico has like a game, like that whole is packed.
It's just so closely tied to Mexican culture,
and
soccer
the crowds are rowdy.
Yeah, but I think other sports play that with other countries. I mean, I don't know. Like I haven't spoken to like a Puerto Rican specifically or a Dominican. They might feel. I don't think they feel as attacked. They don't even have soccer teams. I don't think.
They don't even play all that much. In the Copa de Oro, who like I don't think I've ever seen.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I know one Dominican player, and he played for Real Madrid. His name is Mariano. I don't know if he's still there, but literally,
that sounds familiar.
So there's another I was gonna say that there's another thing, right? Contrary to basketball, where you can't see any professional Mexican players to look up to. Obviously, with soccer, there's
so many,
a plethora, right, of soccer players that you can.
But there's not enough, man. For a country as big as we are, there should be some.
No, we could talk about that. That's a whole nother story. We could talk about that.
That has to do with like just too much money being.
It's a whole thing, but regardless, even if they're not like successful at the highest of levels, at like the Champions League level, they are sometimes. Like you have icons like Hugo Sanchez, who's
Rafa Marquez,
Rafael Marquez, and so those are the players you can latch onto. But even then, you have professional
Chucky
players.
Lozano next.
We'll see. Maybe.
Hey, he's gonna score 15
He's
goals
nice.
this season
He's nice.
at Napoli.
Yeah, he's nice. But
speaking it into existence, Chucky, don't let me down.
He's nice. But yeah, like I remember growing up, like for me, like I was very attached to. Again, I was a Chivas fan, so there's a player, Carlos Salcido.
Yeah.
So he played for Chivas, and then he actually played in Europe.
I really liked him because he played with like an edge.
Yeah,
like he was kind of like
he was my dude. And his story, like he was one of those where like he was like 20 years old playing in the like working construction or whatever. And his homies was like, "Yo, let's play the soccer tournament," because he was nice. And at that soccer tournament, he got scouted.
And he played like that, right? He played like he had a chip on his shoulder, kind of like, and he was like kind of.
So needless to say, we have that.
Was he a right back, center back?
Left back. Left back. So needless to say, we have that. We do have that in soccer. We have kind of some.
There's a lot more that, and we're talking about Mexico right now. Let's look at like the bigger scope of things. Like you go to somewhere like Brazil, like it's huge.
Yeah.
You go to somewhere like Argentina right now, right? You have.
They're in the final today.
Arguably the ghost. Oh yeah,
as the day recording.
Argentina and Brazil playing. Hey, who do you think is gonna win?
I hope Brazil. I ain't gonna cap.
You want Brazil to win?
Argentina knocked us out 2 World Cups in a row, and I fucking hate
and I don't want Messi to win any.
That'd be funny.
Any big trophy.
I'm very big anti-Argentina when it comes to soccer. I hate Argentina.
Yeah, I don't like Argentina either.
They made me cry too many times. I'm serious.
Why are you so spiteful, bro?
They made me cry multiple times.
And
Rudy.
I'm not. Are you a Messi or Ronaldo guy?
I really don't care, but I like to mess with my dad. He's a Messi guy, so I say Ronaldo.
Okay, yeah, me too. I'm a Ronaldo guy too.
I don't care. They're both great.
I think it's because of his aesthetic.
He is one attractive man, let me tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, have you seen where he like gets mad at his kids for drinking like Cokes?
I saw him with the interview with the Coke, but
he took like the Coke off the table.
Drink water.
And then he put like the water on the table.
That man is a good look. He's a specimen, let me tell you.
He's a machine, bro. Yeah. He's like the LeBron of soccer.
We're lusting right now. We're lusting
a little bit. Is this the male gaze? I've seen a lot about this on TikTok. You know what I'm talking about? The male gaze where like guys go to the gym not to look at like at like themselves get swole or like whatever. They're going to like appreciate other men's physiques is basically what like they're going to go do. Yeah. And that's why they want to get swole. Is that why you want to get swole, Kevin? Because you...
Yeah. So the guys can check me out and be like, "Dang, he's swole, bro." You know how nice it feels to get because a girl will never compliment you, bro. Like maybe it's because I'm in a relationship, I don't know, but like girls don't ever compliment. I get compliments from dudes sometimes, like, "Oh, you looking nice, good."
Hey,
like,
bro, you looking swole, man. You looking swole. I see you, boy. I see you. Did they smack you on the ass?
Smack ass.
Nice.
Slap ass. Sorry, slap ass. Yeah, slap ass. I corrected myself. Hey, that skit is hilarious. Yeah, slap ass. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what are you talking about? I thought he was gay.
Oh my god, you don't understand any reference. The Key and Peele slap ass skit.
Bro, I didn't watch Key and Peele like that.
Everybody knows slap ass.
I don't know what that is.
Nah, I'm not watch it afterwards.
Sorry, guys, I'm not cultured with Key and Peele skits. That's a great okay, so here was my thing about Key and Peele. I was not a fan for a long time because it was basically a knockoff Chappelle show.
So?
And so Chappelle was my dog.
And it's not like they did it in spite of Chappelle. Like, what are they gonna do? Like,
okay, they may not have done the show in spite of Chappelle, but I didn't watch it in spite of them. So
you're whack. Why can't we all eat?
Because Dave Chappelle wasn't eating. That was the whole point. He left.
I don't know, man. Whatever. I love.
And so yeah, no, yeah, me too. Like I think now I care less. After Dave
probably like one of my
Chappelle
favorite skits.
made the joke, he was like, I gotta watch Key and Peele do my show 3 times a week. Like I was like, okay, cool, I'll watch it now.
But
I'm cool with it.
Back on subject. Yeah, no. Anyways, what the fuck are we talking about? Cristiano Ronaldo, soccer and shit.
Yeah. No,
it
like,
is.
when you go to like Brazil, we're talking about like Brazilians having like like such a huge.
Dude, soccer is a lot more universal in Latin America. Like literally,
Absolutely.
Right. Like even though there's varying degrees of success, right? You can talk about Brazil and Argentina being dominant, Colombia a little bit, Uruguay has a couple World Cups, but even like Honduras, Salvador.
Does Uruguay have World Cups?
Yeah, 2 I think. They won them very early on.
Oh, back when there was like 16 teams in the tournament. I remember now. Yeah,
like in the 50s or some shit.
Yeah.
But even teams like Honduras, Salvador, Mexico, who have won very little or next to nothing. I mean, Mexico is one of the, obviously, most of the shit in North America.
In the CONCACAF region?
But even Hondurans, Salvadorians, Panamanians, Costa Ricans, like...
Yeah, anytime Honduras plays Mexico, they get really hyped to go lose. Right, Fabi?
Yo, I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to say anything.
But that's the thing, that we play the villain role, right? And then there's also the other villain, which is like the U.S. Now,
you want to get into that bag right now?
Yeah, let's jump into that, because that has a lot to do with our identity.
Fucking hate the U.S.
men's national soccer team,
bro.
Really?
With a fucking passion.
Everybody.
All of them.
What do you think about Pulisic?
Kiss my ass.
You don't like Pulisic?
No, bro. Like I'm.
What about the dual nationals?
Fuck them.
Like Gio Reyna.
Fuck them, bro. I can't tell you enough. Like I hate the whole U.S. national team, bro. Like I would never support any of them.
Ever in any circumstance.
Even if like
they're playing Argentina. They're playing Argentina in the World Cup final.
All the way.
My god.
My hate for the U.S. is a lot bigger than my hate for Argentina.
Damn. What the fuck?
Easily.
I'm a big fan.
She's lying. We don't need to address that.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry, I just got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't recall any of these interactions.
Would you say that you broke up with Monica over the fact
I can either
that she was supporting the U.S. men's national soccer team?
I can neither confirm nor deny this, but I can tell you this: if she were to,
you look so stressed right now.
I truly don't recall. She claims. I could tell you this: if she turned around tomorrow and bought like a U.S. jersey, I would literally take it and like fucking burn that shit, like throw it in the trash. Like
that's so rude.
Get that shit out of here.
Why?
I can't bro.
Is it just that? Is it just the soccer team?
I don't know. Like you're a big Cowboys fan. Who do y'all hate? Like the Eagles and the Redskins. Like do y'all hate them like that?
No, people hate. I can't
even tell you. Like,
I don't hate on anybody. People hate us.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about the...
All right, whatever. I can see this is going nowhere. I cannot stand... Bro, I don't know, bro. Maybe it's a little bit of like that anti-American...
What do you think did that? Yeah, what do you think did that for you?
It's a combination where I think it probably a little bit stems from the anti-American sentiment that I had when I was growing up. You know, feeling that like they hated us.
Okay.
A lot of it is pride in ours because they're rivals. Like... the shit that they talked, right? Like all the they talk mad shit. Their little 2-0 bullshit that they had going on for a while.
Oh my god.
Landon Donovan being a freaking prick when he was around. Like it's just.
Hey, but you remember Landon Donovan getting shit for trying to get Americans to support Mexico?
Oh
in
yeah,
the last World Cup after the U.S. didn't make it.
Shit. You know he pissed in I think at the Estadio Azteca or one of them. Like he went and pissed on one of our stadiums.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See? Yeah, I'm telling you, I know everything, bro. Yeah,
Why should I hate the U.S. men's national soccer team?
They were like,
Google search.
Like a little like training inside the stadium. You know how sometimes they get like.
And this man just went to go pee, bro. I bet he just probably went to go pee.
He could have gone inside the locker room and pissed. He pissed on the field, bro. Fuck that. Anyways, yo, I can't. Like I cannot. Like the hatred runs really, really deep.
So in no way, shape, or form, you
ever. If like I was gonna say earlier, my team now that I actually like support and watch is Arsenal, right? Mm-hmm. We suck. This is neither here nor there.
We know.
I don't need to hear that. But if we were to ever sign like an American player, I'd be so like upset. Yeah,
really.
My brother's a Chelsea fan. I give him shit for Pulisic all the time. I'd be like, dude, fuck him. Like,
bro, hey, he's nice though.
I don't give a bro. You saw that shit he pulled last game when we played.
Okay, so
fuck him.
Quick question: do you think Pulisic is like the best American-born player of all time?
No. What are you talking about, bro?
Who else?
He just started. He might be.
Exactly. That's what's so impressive.
He might, bro. He's not even like starting at Chelsea. He hasn't done anything yet, bro.
What are you talking? All right. Next point.
He hasn't.
Do you think he's better than every other Mexican national right now?
No, he hasn't done, bro. Just because he.
You don't think he's better than any? I think he's the best
than any of them.
Than every. Take Mexico's national team roster.
Okay.
Who is better than Christian Pulisic right
Chucky
now?
Lozano.
You think Chucky is better than him
Yes.
right now?
Yes, bro.
Not potential wise.
No.
I don't know.
Bro, Pulisic hasn't done fuck all. Bro, he rode the bench all season.
The only thing that I could maybe give you was Raul before the injury.
Jimenez?
Mhm.
Him too, probably. Chucky Lozano bangs in goals. He's banging in goals at Porto.
Bro, Pulisic was the one that
Napoli.
that dragged them through into the Champions League that
rode the
season
bench, bro.
after Project Restart. After Project Restart, bro, hey, Pulisic was on the tear.
Pulisic rode the bench, dog. Yeah, I'm not
This
gonna.
is getting very into the
I'm never
details of a
gonna
single
fucking
thing.
give them no credit, dog. That's the other thing. Like you could put someone on bias. I'm never gonna give them any credit.
So now let me give you my background to that because I feel much the same. As
Can't
soon as
fucking
like
stand.
Mexico and the U.S. play, I give two shits about
Yo.
anything American. Like-
and before you start, like anyone who I know that roots for them, disgusting. Don't talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me, bro. Don't talk to me no more.
You can talk to me.
I'm just playing.
I'll be your friend.
At least not during game days. Like, don't even. No.
Yeah, no. When the U.S. and Mexico play, I give two shits about anything American. Literally zero. But I'm not gonna lie. Like if I'm watching the World Cup, or even when I'm watching like Pulisic play, like with Chelsea, I don't want Chelsea to do well, but I want Pulisic to look good while they lose. Right? Like and it's just that, like I'm not even like trying to do it. It just so happens like mentally I catch myself being like, oh yes, like, you know. But that's only specific to soccer, because then I take a step back, and I've said this before. Let's talk about the Olympics coming up. Right, that's a sporting event that's on the horizon.
We're boycotting the Olympics.
Are you boycotting the Olympics? Why? Because of Shikari?
I mean,
Hey,
that's
bro,
why I said it.
let
but
her run, bro.
Yeah.
Let her run.
That's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, so stupid, bro.
But-
There should be no reason why we should be testing for marijuana in this day and age, bro.
That's so
I'm gonna stand.
You see Michael Phelps' tweet?
Yeah, bro, and
We
we
were
was
all
all high. So actually, that's a great segue into what I was gonna ask more about, because I saw I saw him tweet, you know, and we were all high during that relay race, and I went back and like watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, I was hype as fuck watching that whole, and I'm cheering for like Team USA.
I couldn't care less.
So like if you were sitting there watching this relay that happened, what was it, the 4x200 or was it the 4x100? Whatever it was, and you saw the US make that comeback, you wouldn't get hype or care at all.
Maybe like in the context of just making a comeback, but I wouldn't care that it's like the U.S. making a comeback. I
Really?
feel the same way if it was like Denmark making a comeback. I don't know what
You have zero pride in
Zero.
Damn.
Never, like, even growing up with the Olympics, right? Like, I never really watched them. Why? Because we don't win shit.
Yeah,
we win
Mexico doesn't win
two gold
anything.
medals or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that. I never cared that the U.S. won. Like, all like, you know how like on ESPN they'd be like, oh,
the medal count.
the medal count. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck off. I don't care.
See,
Like,
I
wouldn't-
did.
I wouldn't
I
like
did.
actively. So like in soccer, I actively hate. In Olympics, I wouldn't actively hate. I just wouldn't care.
Are you gonna try to like when you have kids, like the day that you start to have a family, are you gonna try to like
Yes.
indoctrinate them with the same hate? Monica, how does this make you feel? Monica, are you Team USA? Do you find yourself cheering for them? Yeah, right. Like I feel like you can't help it. Johnny, what about you? Do you care about the Olympics and do you cheer for them?
Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's so hard not to.
It's actually really easy for me. It's not hard at all, dude. I don't care. I have no attachment, bro. I don't care. That's what I'm saying. I don't hate it. Like, I'm
Interesting.
not sitting there like watching Michael Phelps swim, like, oh, fucking Michael Phelps, like I do with like Pulisic scores or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
Yeah, like there's a
Don't
little
care.
bit more like reason for you to like hate in soccer, which is like I get that one completely.
yeah, I don't hate the like Team USA like in the Olympics or whatever. I truly just do not care. It's fine.
Interesting.
It's whatever. Y'all go ahead, win,
I do
be
care.
dominant,
And
which they are. They win a lot.
I just think it's so interesting because when you look at Team USA, it really is a melting pot of
Again, man, it goes back to the way I
cultures and
grew up.
identities. Because if there's one thing where, you know, there's probably more representation than not, it's in sporting events, right? Like when you look at like Team USA, right? Black people are gonna run Team USA in the Olympics this year. It's a space where there's a lot of representation that doesn't necessarily like reflect
You know what it is?
what
It's
like
cooler
the
for
country
like the
looks like.
individual. Like in the case of like a Shakari, what's her name? How do you pronounce it? Shakari. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's dope. Like I love
Shout
that
out to
for
Elk
them.
Grove, Texas.
You know what I mean? Like that's dope.
Yeah.
I don't care the flag that they're representing. You know what I'm saying?
But there's not like an extra sense of attachment. Like whenever like Jamaica and Team USA did the The 4x100
You see all these
relay.
memories you have? I don't even have them. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you remember that race?
No.
Jamaica versus
No.
Team USA, bro. There will never be a 4x100 relay race better than that in the history of relay
First
races.
off, I don't care about these sports, right? Like track, like I don't know.
Bro, track is a lot of fun to watch.
Maybe.
You're annoying.
I don't know.
Why do you
man.
hate everything, Kevin?
I don't hate. I just told you I don't care for it. I don't tune in and watch. I don't know how many Olympic events I've watched.
Kevin's such a hater.
Like 2. Like if it's on, like I'll see. Oh look, they're racing. Cool. Whoever won. Like
I feel you. I don't know. Like I do. I can't help
you
but
actually
to
watch
have,
the Olympics and like actually like sit there.
Yeah, I sit there and I do care.
don't.
But again, when you go back to Team USA, there is more of a melting pot of identity. So I think that's why it's easier to root. Like, because right when I'm watching Simone Biles, like right for like Team
Again,
USA,
cool, dope as fuck for them. Like
I'm just
I like
like,
that for the individual.
let's go Black Girl Magic. Show these white people that you're so like you're
For sure.
They
I can
could
see- I
never.
can relate to
They
that.
could never do this.
I can agree with that feeling, like for sure. But like afterwards, when they're like have like her and like the anthem playing, I'm like, all right, I'm cool.
You don't start crying like I do.
No.
No, I'm just-
But no, that's dope as fuck. Like
Yeah.
that for sure is dope, and it
Interesting.
is a platform, like you said. It's a huge platform where
Are you attached to
You
this
better
resentment? Like legitimately? Like, do you think that like you want to like indoctrinate your kids to not cheer for the Team USA?
I more so like take it as like I wish my country would be better, right?
Okay.
And I want like again going back to soccer because that's really where it's at, right? Like an American player doing good is bad for Mexican soccer, right? Because they're like rivals, they're like the local, they're kind of like
For sure.
at World Cup qualifiers, you're direct.
It should
rivals,
just
so you're-
motivate us to do better.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's still like a bad look.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when they have the more successful players, it probably bodes badly for the men.
And right now, I think they do.
I don't think so, but go off.
We'll have this conversation off camera actually because I want to.
I still think we're
Jump
the
into
better
this
team
bag.
still. I think we're trending in the wrong direction. But I
Yeah,
still think
for
right
sure.
now, today, we still whoop their ass.
You think so?
Yes.
I think it's up for discussion, but no, for sure. Like that's what I wish I could say with that amount of confidence, right? Because like I said, when it comes to that particular sport, absolutely. But no, sorry. I feel like we've jumped around, talked about a lot of things. This was a conversation that was all over the place. I think, and this was one that like we both said that there's not a lot of background that we can really provide because we don't have a lot of like history with it, which was baseball. I think it might be interesting to one day bring somebody on that maybe like played growing up. Yeah, shout out to the Dodgers. Hey, what was the picture that he was like in the 80s and 90s? Fernando Valenzuela. Yeah. He tore up the major leagues.
Mexican pitcher, yeah.
Mhm.
Legend. For sure.
And he was huge, right? He was like a cultural movement like in his own, like in Los Angeles.
Fernando Mania, I think.
Yeah. And he was a huge
Before my time,
sensation.
but I'm aware, obviously.
one. He was Mexican, and he was also he was playing in a market that was the biggest
yeah.
Mexican.
No, there's a ton
Majority
of
market.
again. We alluded to it earlier. I think baseball is really where you get a lot of iconic Latin athletes, right? You have Roberto Clemente, you have
Huge.
Big Papi Ortiz.
Yeah,
David
Mariano
Ortiz.
Rivera,
Just
Alex
so many.
Rodriguez. Even though he's American, but his
I don't
parents
know.
are
How do you feel
Dominican.
about Alex Rodriguez?
I like him a lot, actually.
Really?
Yeah, like I
He's
used to hate. I
slimy.
used to not like him. He really fumbled the bag with J Lo.
I don't know, dude. He's slimy.
He ran J Lo off into the arms of a white man. Like I am upset with him.
Did he do that? She's been all over the place with it. Mark Anthony deserved better. I'm still
You
mad
think
at her
Mark
for that.
Anthony deserved
Yeah,
better?
I'm mad at her for that.
I feel like Mark Anthony dated up in that circumstance.
I don't know, Chief. I love Mark Anthony because he's this skinny.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I'm like,
Maybe I
can't
need
relate
to. Yeah,
him.
maybe I need to relate to him a little bit more.
But no, anyways, back. I don't know how I feel about A-Rod, but no, I think baseball is like where we have a lot of influence in the sport. I think we're dominant. When I say we now, I'm not talking about Mexico. I'm talking about all of Latin America, specifically more so
Yeah.
the Caribbean. I think the bulk of the dominant players
Jose
come from there.
Canseco. Yeah, you said David Ortiz already.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Cabrera.
No,
Jose-
never. No, don't even finish.
Yeah,
that
we
name.
don't really
don't
talk
speak
about
on-
cheaters on
I don't have a
on
trash
this
can anywhere near
on
me,
this.
so.
Yeah, sorry if y'all hear trash cans banging in the background. It's because sorry, there's like these weird
Yeah.
signals trying to be relayed. I don't know what's going on. Someone's trying to steal championships from
apparently,
somebody.
Yeah, there's some asterisks flying around.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I think what were you say, Jose Canseco? Tons of them, right? Like the list
There's
goes
a
on.
lot.
I
Yeah,
think-
Jose. You
so that's super
mentioned Papi
dope.
Ortiz.
I think that's super dope. Right now, the Dodgers. Camera can't see it, but this is a Julio Urias jersey.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and he's live too.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's
I
hella
love
live.
Julio Diaz.
I love when like people that represent us are like very like they're not just like their personalities in themselves,
Yeah.
right? Because then you attach yourself to that person, you're like, fuck yeah, like
Yeah.
he's.
I want to go watch him play. His like walk up song is like a corrido, like a hardcore
Is it really?
corrido. Yeah, it's like
That
I
makes
don't
so
even,
much sense.
It's too Mexican even for me. I'm like, damn, what is this song? I've never heard this song in my life.
That's
it's some
loud.
hardcore corrido.
Sammy
shit.
Sosa. I forgot about Sammy Sosa.
But I'm sure the list goes.
And he played. Did Sammy Sosa play for the Rangers? Yeah, he did for a little bit. I have a Rangers Sammy Sosa T-shirt. I'm pretty sure. But no,
Since it didn't play that big a role in like my life. I don't really know baseball history like that. Like I just can point to like big names. So I don't really know it.
But I think it's good to be able to say that like, hey, like even though we didn't like really grow up with it, we can still point and say a lot of these names because they are such like big figures, right? And so like I think it's awesome to have like representation and at this point like the largest amount of like varying representation, right? Because like a lot of these players, Dominican, Cuban, Venezuelan, like they're all over the Central America like spectrum, Caribbean spectrum, like they're all over the place, which is
I don't know too many.
awesome
I
to
know
see.
Venezuela's in South America, but it's interesting because I don't think there's that many from like elsewhere in South America. Like there's no Brazilian, Argentinians, Uruguayos.
There's a couple Chileans, I think.
Peruvians.
There are some Peruvians.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't know.
Mariano Rivera is Panamanian.
But regardless, like,
nonetheless,
yeah,
that's still-
I think it does span more so than
For
like,
sure. I think it'd be interesting to have someone come on that can maybe share a little bit about what it was like growing up, where they were in the. Because have you been to a baseball game where like there's a lot of Dominicans and like Venezuelans or like in, like rec league baseball games?
Oh no.
Bro, like them hoes are mad cultural.
Really?
Like yeah, like they like them hoes feel like there's a lot of Dominican energy like going on right now. Like
Gotcha.
whenever you go.
I mean, I know people in my family played baseball, like the older generation. Like my dad's older brother grew up playing baseball.
Oh, did
and
he?
his kids, yeah. And like all my older cousins, none of them play soccer. Like they all play baseball. So
It's a sport that I think it really depends on like where you were from. If you're Mexican, whether like it had some kind of influence or not. Because like in my family, like my dad would tell me the same thing. Like, oh yeah, we have some cousins that are like from another part of like another pueblo that like they play a lot of baseball in that area. So I think it really just depends on where you grew
where's
up.
Durango like geography wise?
It's technically northern, but you know how the northern states are like all huge.
Yeah.
Like
Because I was
so-
gonna say baseball. I think from
Sinaloa
what I heard, it's,
has, like,
it's
yeah.
very big along the border, kind of. And it probably is that American influence.
I think
kind of.
anything south of Cali,
Yeah.
right? Because California has a big influence there.
I was gonna say like I think that's why my cousins play baseball because I was born in Los Angeles, but I grew up here. Right?
Yeah.
They lived their whole like adolescent
That makes
life
sense.
in LA.
Yeah, there's like Urias. I'm pretty sure he's like from Sinaloa.
Yeah. His nickname is Culichi.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, I think it'd be interesting one day to have someone come on that can provide a little bit more perspective on that. But no, I think the whole goal of today's episode was just to kind of talk a little bit about sports.
We're all over the fucking place.
We were
I'm
all
so
over the
sorry.
place. But no, this was mostly about us, right? Like kind of our experiences. Like we didn't really like want to jump into like a research
I hope I
bag.
didn't get too negative, but you got it.
We didn't.
Me picaste la cresta
That was the
with
one that I
soccer
was
shit.
really interesting seeing in is like if when it comes to sports, you have any kind of inclination to cheer for like Team USA at all. And the answer was no. Even in basketball, like the dream team.
I don't hate him. I don't. I really don't. I just don't care.
So you don't cheer for like
No.
when Kobe was
Hey, Kobe, don't you speak on Kobe.
Hey, when he was giving the world the work in 2012.
I didn't.
The Redeem
I
team.
definitely didn't watch basketball as much back then. So no, period. Even if I, like I just wasn't into the sport. I didn't even know that was going on.
Yeah, I
don't
feel
even
you.
know. I didn't watch any of the
The
games.
Redeem team. Interesting. Well, I hope your kids don't grow up hating.
I told you I don't hate
Team
these other
USA.
sports. I hate the U.S. men's soccer team.
Yeah, for sure,
The other
me
ones I
too.
just don't feel. But it's cool, man. Like I
I feel you.
said, I do appreciate that it's somewhere where like the minority people can come. Like they have a higher amount of representation there, right?
For
like,
sure.
is what I'm saying. Like I said that sentence was terrible.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can't speak English.
We generally got
I
what
should've
you were
said it in
trying to say.
Spanish.
We generally got it.
So that's super dope. I like seeing that. That's awesome. Like you said,
Yeah.
Simone Biles. I know there's a couple other gymnasts, right? That are like, isn't there a Latina one too as well?
There was on Team USA. I forget what her name was. Who?
Is it Ali Raisman?
I don't think
I
it was
don't
Ali
know.
Raisman.
That
Lori
one.
Hernandez. Hey, shout out to Johnny. Look, jumping in his bag today. But yeah, so I think when it comes to Team USA, especially with the Olympics, I think that's one thing I do appreciate, right? Is that there's a lot of representation
Yeah, yeah.
there.
Yeah,
so you
that's
should stop
it.
being a hater.
No,
and with that
dude,
being said,
I'm not a hater. I just can't.
And with that being said, I think that about does it for today. So
Don't paint me this way.
hey, you know, Kevin's a hater. We've been new this. But no, thank you so much for hanging in there with us today and listening to me and Kevin blab about sports, even though we don't know shit half the time. And don't forget to follow us on the socials, Scattered Roots Podcast, Coach Kev Ortiz. What is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Coach Kev Ortiz.
Hit me up
and
for any
Rudy.dtx.
soccer coaching needs.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Kevin's nice, and he's a pretty good coach. I've seen him out there.
I'll start putting.
Now he's a fucking hater. So if your dream
that's part
is
of
to
my
make
coaching is a coach that the American hate into.
if your dream is to make it to the men's national soccer team, don't hit up Kevin because he's gonna ruin your career. But otherwise, hit the boy up. And with that being said, everyone take care. Have a good rest of your day, and peace out. Thank you.
Adios.
Hello.
Can you start that one?
Say something.
Oh my God, I'm so wet right now. No.
I'm not.